welcome back to my channel. I am Marlise and today is December 1st. So happy Vlogmas, everyone. I wasn't sure if I was going to participate in Vlogmas this year, but after seeing so many people do it last year, it kind of looked fun. So here we are. I've got my Santa hat on. I've got my ugly elf scarf on to help celebrate December 1st, our first day of Vlogmas. I had no ideas what I wanted to do each day in a video to be posted. No idea at all. So I thought and I thought. At one point I was thinking maybe I should make some sort of a festive holiday type project, do a little bit each day, and then on the 25th I would have a final project. I looked for projects and I looked for projects and I could not find a project that was calling my name for this particular type of video series. So I kept thinking, and then it hit me. I think we've all kind of seen these advents going around where you get a box and each day you open a little box and there's a treat or there's a little something every day that you can kind of enjoy. I know a lot of people have been looking for yarn advent calendars, which I think is kind of hit or miss. I haven't checked any out, so I'm the last person that should be saying anything. But from what I've seen, the yarn advents are not what people want. And I looked a little bit to see if there was anything out there, but they're either so expensive, obviously, or it's not the kind of yarn maybe that people wanted to work with. So here's where my idea comes in for this year's Vlogmas. I'm going to create a yarn advent for myself to open next year during Vlogmas. Brilliant, right? Task 1, the idea, check. We have our task for this year. We are going to make our own yarn advent calendar. Now, how do we do that? I knew that I wanted to make something each day for Vlogmas. I just wasn't sure what. Well, this advent is perfect because now I can make a little something to hold my yarn to be opened next year. But what? What little something should we make? So I thought, and I thought, and I thought, and then it dawned on me, let's make little stockings. Okay, so we've got the task, we've got the project kind of picked out. I looked a little bit online and on YouTube to kind of see if there was a little stocking type pattern that would be quick. I don't want something that's going to take me all day, each day. I need something that's like makeable in an hour or less. So stockings, typically pretty small. I'm not going to be knitting. If I were knitting a stocking, then that would be all day. But for crochet, I think I can crochet a stocking in just under an hour and probably less, right? So there was my thinking on that. Could not find a pattern that I liked or that fit the size and kind of what I was doing. They were either way too small or way too big. I needed something that was just right. So I sat down and I created a V-stitch crochet stocking. And here she is. So it's a perfect little stocking. How cute is this? It's super easy, less than an hour, probably less than half an hour if I'm being honest. And once I get the pattern, by the end of this Vlogmas, I will have this pattern probably like 20 minutes. The hardest part is really changing the colors and then weaving everything in. But it's a nice V-stitch, so it works up really fast. There's only a few single crochet rows on the heel and the toe, and then on the top, the cuff up here, and then a nice little chain loop so I can hang these all up. I have a pattern for this, a tutorial. I'm working on a written pattern, so if anybody's interested in the written version, I'm hoping to have that out. But if there's a lot of interest in it, it will speed me up to actually write it and put it out there for you guys. So I will link the tutorial in this video, so check that out. These are really nice. It's about 7.5 inches from the top to say right about here, almost the toe, and then about 3.5 inches across. So it's a nice size. I should be able to wind up a little bit of yarn, put it in here for next year, and I'll have, what, 24 little stockings? So here's one. So day 1, December 1st, our first Vlogmas, I've got 1 stocking. Now, the fun part. What yarn am I going to use to put in all of my stockings? And do I decide a project that I want to make for next year as I'm unboxing all of my Advent yarn? I don't know. It's again with the projects. I don't know next year at this time what I'm going to want to make. I'm also not going to weigh the yarn or be real accurate for each day. I'm just going to kind of use, I think, like my stash yarn that I want to get rid of each day and just wind it up and put it in here and then call it done. So I don't think I'm going to have a particular project in mind for next year as I'm picking my yarns for each day. You certainly can do that, and it's probably a good idea, unless you're looking for just a complete scrappy project to work up the yarn with, which is kind of what I'm gonna do. So now we need to go pick some yarn with no project in mind. I found some yarn. This is, I believe, the Mary Maxim Glimmer or Shimmer or something like that. It's got a strand of like, I don't know, like glimmer shimmering yarn in there. So pretty, perfect amount. This came straight from my stash. It's not even a full skein. I don't know how much is in here. I can kind of tell. So now I'm going to wind it up in a way that will fit into a stocking, and then we can put it in there and have our first stocking for Advent done. So let's see if I can wind this without losing too much time.
Jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. A day or two ago, I thought I'd take a ride, and soon Miss Fanny Bright was seated by my side. The horse was lean and lame. Misfortune seemed his lot. He got into a drifted bank, and then we got upset. Oh, jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way.
And done. Not the prettiest ball winding I've ever done, but I did need it to be a little bit long instead of wide so I could fit it in the stocking. Now, I'm going to grab some tissue paper or something to kind of wrap this up in. We'll put our yarn in our stocking, and we'll have our first stocking and Advent yarn done. Nothing fancy. I just grabbed an extra piece of tissue paper that I had. And now the trick will be to get this into here. Yeah. So cool. I'm so happy with this idea. Stocking 1 done. Now that I have my first stocking done, my first yarn picked out and packaged up for next year, I can start to think what colors I want to make tomorrow and maybe what yarn. But that will be a tomorrow problem. For today, we are finished with Vlogmas Day 1, December 1st, 2025. We have our first stocking, our first yarn. I'm so excited to see all of the stockings hanging up at the end of this, stuffed with all of this yarn for me to open next year. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow.